They have the threshold for danger in sight. Be prepared for them to get on their thrust reversers. Now, if we saw the nightly ninja escort service earlier, who are they? Let me see. White ice socks, a crisp white t-shirt, off-white cargo pants, and white boat shoes. All dressed the same? Is this a private army or the Good Karma delivery service? Meanwhile, in Venezuela, Dr. Strobel has been working on a brand new pesticide. His employer, Glock, wants to sell it to a third world dictator. Plans to make lethal poison to kill off swarms of people on command. These bad dudes have equal parts piss, pesticide, and pure petroleum jelly running through their veins. The fertilizers they will produce will give them the jump on any corporate entity in the world. If they control their land, they will make the world their tenants. The only biggest headache now is what to do with the surpluses endangered by modern agriculture. We know Glock is evil for his willingness to commit animal cruelty to kill Strobel's puppy. Don't we all hate how they scream when you boil them? Flathead is a decent villain's name, but come on. Attempting to turn that puppy into puppy chow is downright despicable. Quality family movie, huh? Especially when they find imprisoning them and making them do stupid pet tricks wildly amusing. Dr. Strobel refuses, and Glock decides to take Strobel's daughter instead for leverage. Then again, she has a chemical impairment, but it's not turning up on the tests. The man sent to kidnap Lisa is the Viper played by James Law, who is badass. He's not badass for the way he dresses up as Sesame Street's The Count. He's badass for all those smoke bombs and laser sounds make their appearance out of something out of an old Shaw Brothers movie. From being a deadly killer to a deadly fighter, he has proven he has the chops to be one of cinema's big on-screen martial arts villains. Other than that, he looks like he should be cosplaying the 70s TV movie of the Doctor Strange. Sean and Hero are on the trail as they head to Venezuela to rescue Lisa. One plane ride later, they lay low in the cargo hold. They don't freeze to death. Venezuelan authorities greet them. Poor Joe is put into jail. Okay, I want to know one thing. Is this for real? Or is Cannon playing a number on us? They can't possibly send an innocent man to jail for someone else's game. Look, don't spread this thing out too far, Glock. It's going to get so thin you won't have shit. This is when Hero grows up. Even though he's only 12, he hijacks the prison bus. The police are in pursuit. He only hands it to the stunt driver when driving is to be done. Well, he wanted to be a stunt driver. A little thing called law school got in the way. The punks stop the van. They hang the kid on some branch like in some Looney Tunes cartoon. They riddle the van with bullets while laughing maniacally. They go back to the van. They open the van only to find, ooh, wait a minute. We should have looked up when we looked inside. Well, aren't we a couple of silly billies? After Joe takes out a dozen or so rent-a-ninjas, we hear a real Bronx cheer for his champion. Yeah, he suddenly appears by smoke, but it sounds like a whoopee cushion. Red Mist looks menacing for 1 minute and then pisses off with another fart. Our faithful heroes continue on their quest, encountering ninjas with wooden swords. What are you going to do with that? Bruise them to death? Pretty much anything Joe does to them knocks them dead. Whether it's a kick to the face or the old grab wrist and flip technique, they're about as useless as flicking a booger with a rubber band. Later, the baddies get their rent-a-ninja costumes back from the dry cleaners, only to find the green suits went in the wash with some blue socks, which turned everything purple. After a brief respite, Joe and Hero get into a cute game of wiggly fingers. Can you do that, Hero? Please go on. Give it a go. Joe does that throughout the rest of the film. It's pretty cool and doesn't make you look like a prick. Suddenly, Mr. Miyagi appears in a puff of smoke. I'm telling you, Cannon's getting their money's worth from the dry ice rental. Honestly, Arnold here from Happy Days knows shit about karate. He's been faking it through 4 films. Joe notifies Hero that he is the last of his ninja clan. It's time for him to unleash his full potential. You kidding me? For most of the movie, He doesn't know how to carry his own in a fight. Instead, he plays his handheld Sega Game Gear while scarfing meager portions of product placement and bitching and moaning like a little Bambi. His presence was so sour that he even set the Miami Dolphins back 20 years since their last Super Bowl. So, with only 2 minutes of silhouette kata to spare, Hero is now a qualified ass kicker. That's proper learning. Fast, cutting corners, Cannon's intelligent way of building a character for me. Cue fight scenes galore. It's more of hunting of the fallen as 300 plus goons are dispensed left and right. I can't believe they're going to walk into certain death. Why create born dead characters whose life means nothing? Who lives with death every day, where death walks with them, where death rides and sleeps, where they carry its smell underneath their skins? I would go on with the final scene, but what's the use? With similar daughter scientist father aspect, Cannon is rewriting American Ninja 2. Couldn't they come up with something new? First-time director Bobby John Leonard originally had this film titled American Dragons. Villains included clever names like Glock, who resembles Bernie Madoff, and Viper's on-screen appearance along with Flathead, who seems like a sniveling Mr. Egghead. They could have taken this movie in a zany Shaw Brothers B-action Chinese cinema type film. He's a director who was never familiar with the American Ninja series. He failed to impress us with his knowledge of past American Ninja entries, that's for sure. It's a sad shame that a once glorified ass-kicking of an entry like the American Ninja series fell victim to the old sitcom trick. Add a kid. When all sitcom kids grow up and aren't as cute and impactful as they once were. Regardless of what Shirley Temple Darling or young Macaulay Culkin you have lined up at the door to make this Cannon Kids series seem feasible, it was surely not the way to go for such a beloved B-80s B-action cinema series such as American Ninja 1 and 2. Even though it came out in 1993, you may have noticed it seems old. That's probably because it comes off as pretty lame, impotent, and not to mention way drawn out for my taste. It's quite the insult for many beloved American Ninja series fans. In our next Cannon Films countdown, get ready. There will be more laughs, as the next wave of films of Mr. Charles Bronson requires a different rating scale than any other movie with 1987's Assassination. I'm not saying it's up there with Singing in the Rain, Mean Streets, or Nashville, but as far as movies go, with Bronson putting a bullet to your brain, it's vital. This is Carlo Filetta here reminding you all to stay healthy, my friends.